So not only is it a broad spectrum of plant foods and plant extracts and multivitamins and minerals, but it's also significant as a protein supplement. Just of course, being very focused on the protein market. And it's one of the things that I think sets the product apart in the kids category is you're getting a significant amount of protein per serving with all these other things. So can you speak a little bit to the importance of protein in the kids' diet and how much should kids be getting on a daily basis?
Yeah, I mean, really good question because protein is critically important for everybody. And I think for a long time, I was actually talking with one of my colleagues from the university about this morning. For a long time, protein was underappreciated and it was probably underdosed for a lot of people because the primacy in the diet was given to other things. But, we know that having a higher than RDA amount or higher than RDA intake of protein is critically important for when we age, for performance, for cognition, for growth and development as a child. So it's really important for that. But it's also really important for having proper auto-regulation of what we eat. In other words, eating the right amount and the right things without almost meaning to, right? We do it without meaning to because we're taking in what we require. Yeah. And so the research on protein is really interesting in that respect because, a lot of people will say things like, well, protein can help us suppress sugar cravings.
Right.
And it can, but it does that because it suppresses cravings for everything.
Right.
Because unless we take in enough protein, we're just going to desire food so that we do actually take in enough protein. Mm-hmm. And so obviously with kids being, they're young, they're growing massively. They require quite a lot of protein compared to their body weight. So a lot of people might look at the product and say, well, there's not a massive amount of protein in there, but that's because kids don't require a massive amount. They require proportionately quite a large amount. So if it's similar to, let's say, an adult, you might require, a gram per pound of body weight or so. A child then doesn't actually require all that much protein over a day. And then you divide that up to what they might require in one meal. Right. It's pretty much bang on with what we're providing. And so that's the rationale there. And similarly, the amounts of vitamins and minerals are appropriate for the age. So you're basically covering off pretty much around about, for most of them, 100% of the RDA amounts for all those things. Yeah. And so, it's certainly something that we see clinically that a lot of people, full stop, and that includes a lot of kids, are not taking in sufficient amounts of protein, not necessarily to survive, because everyone takes in enough to survive. The key thing is that most people, including kids, are not taking in sufficient protein to thrive.